Good morning, Assalamu alaikum. This is the Light School Nushaira campus and we are here for our grade 9th chemistry class. Our today's topic is groups in the periodic table, which is mentioned on page number 69. In our last lesson, we learned about periods. So what the periods are in the periodic table? They are the elements going from left to right, and what are the groups in the periodic table? So groups are the elements going from top to bottom. Left to right, we can also use the word as horizontal. So those elements which are located in the horizontal line of the periodic table are known as to belong from that particular period, whereas the elements which belong to or which are located in the vertical line. So we can say that this element belongs to that particular group. For example, I have an element hydrogen. Its symbol is H. Its atomic number is 1. Atomic number 1 means that it is located in the first group of the periodic table and it has only one proton, right? So, as it is the first element of the periodic table, it's quite obvious that it will be located in the first period. First element, it will be our first element of the periodic table. First element of the periodic table means first member of the first period. First period means this left to right, moving from left to right. And it is also first member of the first group. First group means coming from top to bottom, right? So hydrogen belongs to the first period, its first element, whereas it is the first element of the first group. So another thing which we missed in our last topic about periods, that was, just come towards, let's read it, see it. This is our period number 1. Suppose this is period number 2. How many periods do we have altogether? We have 7 periods. 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. We have altogether 7 periods. So our first period means that all the elements what are present in our first period, they will have only one shell. One shell means the electrons or that particular element's electrons will be only in one shell. And how many electrons can be occupied in one shell? The maximum probability is 2. So this means that first period has the maximum space for 2 electrons only. So the first element of the periodic table being hydrogen, hydrogen's atomic number is 1. This means that it has how many electrons? Only 1 electron. So it is easily occupied here. Then the other element which is located in the last group of the periodic table here at the end. Helium has He and its atomic number is 2. This means that it has 2 protons and 2 electrons. Right? So these 2 electrons can be accommodated in its first shell and hence it doesn't need any other shell. So if you look here, don't look at the size. I have drawn size a bit wrong because helium is small as compared to hydrogen, and we will discuss it in our later lectures, right? So hydrogen has a maximum capability of 1 electron, whereas helium can accommodate 2 electrons. But overall, how many shells are here? It's only 1 in hydrogen and only 1 in helium. This means that first period is having how many shells? 1 shell. Then second period has 2 shells. Altogether 2 shells, right? 2 shell means first will be S and other will be P. S means it will have 2 electrons, whereas P will have 6 electrons. So the third element of the periodic table, hydrogen, helium, and that is lithium then. So as lithium is the third element, it lies in second period in first group. So we will say that it has second period means it has how many shells? It will have 2 shells. 2 shells means first shell will accommodate 2 electrons, whereas the lithium atomic number is 3. This means that it will accommodate altogether 3 electrons. So first shell has an accommodation of 2, whereas the third shell will occupy how many electrons? Only 1. So 1, 2, 3. 3 electrons over here, right? Then third level or the third period, it will have how many shells? 3 shells in its atom, that is S, P and D. Then it will have 1, 2, 3, 4 shells. Then 5 shells. In 6 we will have 6 shells, whereas in 7 we will have 7 shells, right? It was about period. The period demonstrates the number of shells of a period of an element. Look at this scheme. It's hydrogen, first period, first element, hydrogen, atomic number 1. How many electrons do it have? Only 1. So 1 electron is over here and it has only 1 shell. Then coming to our second period, so second period there is lithium, it has 2 shells. All of them are having, all of the elements in the second period are having 2 shells. See? Right? Then in your third period, how many shells do we have? 1, 2, 3. 3 shells. 1, 2, 3. 3 shells. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3, 3, 3, 3. Right? In fourth period, we have how many shells? 4 periods altogether. Right? Now look at the group. What I said before it, we said that if we are coming, this is from left to right, we will say it's a period. Left to right or horizontal, this is a period. But when we look at the vertical portion, top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, coming from top to bottom vertically, we say that that is group. Okay? Oh, all right. So group 1 has only 1 electron. Group 2 has 2 electrons. Group 3 has 1, 2, 3 electrons. 4 has 1, 2, 3, 4 electrons. 5 have 5 electrons, whereas 6 has 6. 7 have outermost electrons. You have to look at the outermost electron. This is the inner shell. Don't look at the inner shell as electron. You have to look at the outermost electron, right? So whatever is the group number, the same will be the number of electrons in the outermost shell. Outermost shell is the shell lying outer side, at outer side. So this is 1 electron. Over here there are 2 shells, but in the last shell we are having 1 electron. Here in the third period we are having 3 shells, but group 1 is having 1 electron only in the last shell, whereas group 4 is having 1 electron, as this is group 1, sorry, period 4, group 1 has 1 electron in the last shell, right? So what you have concluded that if we are talking about shells, if we are talking about period, we are going from left to right. It means that if the period is 1, it will have 1 shell. If it is 5, it will have 5 shells. And if the group number is 1a, it will have only 1 electron in the valence shell or outermost shell. Or if it is group 8, it will have 8 electrons in the valence shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 electrons in the outermost shell, except the case of helium. Because helium is having 2 electrons. Except helium, all of them will have 8 electrons in their outermost shell. Okay? Alright, let's see how to draw our periodic table. If someone asks you for making or for drawing or for sketching the periodic table, so sketching means you have to give the boundaries to the periodic table. So that is that you have to recall the first element is hydrogen, right? And your second element is helium, but helium is in the 8th group. Helium is over here. Before it, come and learn something else. What we have to learn? We should know that the periodic table, a total of 18 groups. 18 groups. This means that top to bottom we have to come for how many times? For 18 times. So periodic table has altogether 18 groups. But these 18 groups are then divided into 2 main groups. 2 groups. These 2 groups, one are main group or representative elements. Representative elements, whereas the second group is known as transition elements. Transition elements, right? Transition element means the elements which are in transition in the center of the periodic table. Okay? What actually happens? Let's look at the periodic table. In this periodic table, we have 2 types of groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These 8 groups are called as representative elements. Whereas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These 10 groups are called as transition elements because they occupy the center of the periodic table. Now at the left hand side, look at the left hand side, this hydrogen family and this is beryllium family. So hydrogen and beryllium family, they have a maximum of C. This is group, okay. Representative elements are also known as subgroup A, whereas transition elements are known as subgroup B. Okay, altogether we are having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 groups. Whereas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups are representative elements or belongs to subgroup A. Whereas 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These 10 groups belong to transition elements or subgroup B. So, our first A family, this is group 1A. It is group 2A. So, if you remember what I said the first group or the group 1A means that it will have how many electrons in the valence shell? 1 electron in the valence shell. So the outermost electrons of all these elements will be how many? Only 1. Whereas group 2A will have outermost electrons. How many outermost electrons? 2 outermost electrons. So 1 and 2 can occupy which block? Only S subshell, right? So that is why we call them, left hand side is known as S block elements of the periodic table. Okay, S block elements, these two are S block elements of the periodic table. Whereas at the right hand side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these 6 groups. This is group 3, 1, 2, this is 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, 7A, and 8A. It has 3 electrons in outermost shell. This means that which shell will it fill? That is P, S and P. So S has 2 and P has 6 electrons. So 6, 7, 8. Maximum electrons will occupy over here in the last shell, last group, and last group has that's 8A. This means total 8 electrons will be over here. Here 7 electrons will be in the outermost shell. So 6, 7, 8. This means that P block can be filled, right? So all these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups at the right hand side of the periodic table are called as P block elements because their last shell where the electrons are occupied, that is which block? That is P block. Okay, let me give an example to you. Let's take fluorine. Fluorine's atomic number is 9. Atomic number 9 means it has how many electrons? 9 electrons and 9 protons. So how to fill? This is S, SP, 1, 2, 3, SP, D, 4, SP, D, F. We have to fill 9 electrons. So S can accommodate 2 electrons. S can accommodate 2 electrons. After this we have to come to P and then to S. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 electrons are over here, right? So this means that last electron is last block, last subshell. What is that? That is P subshell has been filled, right? That is why all of the elements, if you look at the electronic configuration of all these elements, you will find that the last electron, the electrons fill P block as their valence shell, right? So these two groups are S block elements. Over here they are called as P block elements. In the center all the transition elements are known as D block elements. D block elements means their electrons fill D block or D subshell as the last shell, whereas lengthenized and actinized series is called as F block elements. Okay, all right. Coming towards the names of the blocks are clear to each and every person, that why do we call it S block, why they are known as P block, why are they known as D block. Transition metal means why are they called as transition metals? That is because these elements joins or makes a bridge between S block and P block elements. It's intermediate in between them. That is why we call them transition metals, right? Okay. Look over here. There are some names given to them. What are the names? The names are your first element, your first group except that of hydrogen. All the elements, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium, they are called as alkali metals. First group elements are known as alkali metals. Group 2A elements are known as alkaline earth metals. The color is shown as wrong. These are your alkaline earth metals. It's blue, right? And these are your transition metals. Again, the color is shown as wrong. Okay, so these are alkali metals, alkaline earth metals. Then come over here. This is known as boron family because the first member is boron. It's carbon family. Group 4A is called as carbon family because its first element is carbon. Group 5A is called as nitrogen family because its first element is nitrogen. Group 6A is called as oxygen family because its first element is oxygen. Now over here, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine, and it's not an element. So all these fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, astatine, they are gases. Fluorine and chlorine are gases. Bromine is a liquid. Iodine is solid, whereas astatine is radioactive, right? So all these elements are known as halogen, or this family is known as halogen family. Fluorine family, because first member is fluorine, whereas it is also known as halogen. Halo means salt and gen means generators. So these elements, when they react with metals, they form salts. For example, this is your metal, sodium, and let's take it chlorine. So sodium chloride, it makes a metal, a salt, right? That is why we call them halogens. And these last elements, last group, group 8A, it is known as zero group. But then zero group name was not satisfied. That is why it is known as group 8A, right? The other thing, they are also known as noble family, which is very much important to know. Noble family. Why do we call it noble family? Noble means those people or those personalities or those things which do not react with anything, which do not interfere in the matters of other things, right, or other people. So it is known as noble family because they do not react with other elements. Why is that? That is because their outermost shell is filled, that is 6, 7, 8. All of them are having 8 electrons except helium. So as they are having 8 electrons, they cannot take or cannot give any other electron. That is why we say that they do not interact with any other element. I will explain this point in the later lectures as well, because it's not our main point today. Our main point is just to know what groups are, what periods are, and what are their proper blocking system, and which name is given to a particular groups. So they are known as noble family, and the other name which is given to them, that is inert gases. All of them are gases, but which gases? Inert gases. Inert also means which are stable, which do not react, right? So group 8A has several names: noble family, inert gases, zero group, or 8A group, right? So S block elements are 1A and 2A, alkali and alkaline earth metals. P block metals are boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen families, and halogens or fluorine family, as well as inert gases or noble family or group 8A. Whereas the central elements of the periodic table are 10 groups, and these groups are called as D block elements because the final electrons or the final shell which is filled by the electrons is D block, whereas the lanthanides and actinides belong to F block because the elements which fill the last shell, so that last shell is which one? That is F block. So it was all for today. Please to listen the lecture carefully once again, and visit your Google Classroom and do your homework. Stay home, stay safe. Bye bye. Take care.